Hey everyone, it's Paul, and welcome to another amusement park review. Last time we talked about Fun Spot Orlando, but today we're going to be talking about Tropical Falls, or Park OWA in Foley, Alabama. We're going to be talking about the history, and then I'm just going to explain my general thoughts about the park. So let's get started with the video. Park OWA opened to the public on July 21st, 2017, as Alabama's newest theme park destination, near the Gulf Shores. The park features 3 roller coasters made by Zimperla. Rolling Thunder is an extreme thrill steel roller coaster similar to Thunderbolt at Luna Park in New York City. Then Crazy Mouse, a traditional steel spinning wild mouse coaster. Then Southern Express, just an average steel kiddie coaster made by Zimperla. And tons of new thrill and family rides, and even a dark ride that opened a few years later. Recently, the park was renamed from Park at OWA to Tropical Falls at OWA to distinguish from the shopping area to the theme park. Also, the resort opened a massive $70 million indoor and outdoor water park. But unfortunately, I didn't have time to visit the water park, so I'm only reviewing the theme park in this review. But actually, a short story time is that we wasn't even planning on going because of it was storming all morning and half of the afternoon, because we left around our Airbnb around like 12ish, and they actually closed the day before because of the rain, so we wasn't sure and we didn't see anything on social media. And then I ended up calling the park saying if y'all are open, and they said yes. So we made out the 1-hour journey from Fort Walton, and then we arrived at the park. And my first thoughts about the park is that it really, like, you can see this park when you're driving on that strip, because there's a Buc-ee's, and then you just keep on driving for like maybe for like 2 minutes, and then you see the massive park, because it's pretty much like in a field, and it's like, you know, you can see the park for miles. But my first thoughts is that they have like this really cute like shopping area similar to like Disney Springs and City Walk, full of local businesses and boutique shops. Really nice. I highly recommend staying and checking out those places. But I ended up paying a one-day admission for $26 in tax, which is by far the best value park admission I've ever paid. And honestly, I think it's one of the best and low-cost amusement parks I've ever been to, because what's so crazy that Alabama Adventure, which is 2 hours north, cost me I think around $40 for one day, and they only have 2 coasters. When I was there, they only had 1 coaster, which was Rampage, and they had nothing else. So I don't know. Oh, I forgot they have a wacky one, but it's not worth $40. But also about that too, I do recommend checking Alabama Adventure out, but I'm not talking about Alabama Adventure. Let me mention this, the park was actually dead because it was saying it was going to rain all day, and it didn't. So the park was pretty much a ghost town. And plus, it was the Friday before 4th of July weekend, so you would think the park would be slammed like crazy, but nope. I pretty much had the entire park to myself. It only took me around like less than like 10-20 minutes around to ride every single coaster. I spent around 4 to 5 hours in the park. My first thought of the park is that it's very cute. It reminds me of like a country fair, like I said about Fun Spot Orlando, but this one kind of felt like more of a country fair because it was in the middle of a field. And I was really generally impressed. They have like the iconic roller coaster Rolling Thunder surrounding the park layout, so you can pretty much get every type of angle and everything and whatnot. And you get really nice views and everything, because the park is pretty much, like I said, in the field. So even if you're like all the way on the other side of like the complex, you can still see the coaster and you can get really tons of great angles. But I will say the staff was super friendly and efficient. Like I said, the park wasn't busy. I'm gonna talk about more in depth about Rolling Thunder, but it was running 1 train, but the line was pretty much non-existent. It did form a little bit of a line, but those operations were fast. They were super fast. But let me say the cons about this park. It's so much concrete, and you might think, what's so bad about so much concrete? Well, there's not a lot of trees and shade, and it didn't help that it was 87 degrees with humidity. So that park really definitely needed a lot more shade or like places to sit, because everything I sat down on, it was burning hot. Like, my butt was burning. But I didn't eat anything in the park. They had pretty much basic food inside the park. Also, I didn't care to mention this too, is if you're not a non-rider, you can get a free non-rider pass to go into the park, and then you get free ins and outs from the park. So, but I recommend if you do eat, I recommend not eating in the park and actually eating outside the out park gate, which is about like, you know, in the area. Because the food inside the park was just basic and really wasn't really that good from what I saw. But the ride collection. I didn't talk about the ride collection. The ride collection, they have a air racer, a star flyer, a disco, and an inverted frisbee, and a Endeavor, Zamperla Endeavor, and then they have a dark ride. But let me talk about this dark ride. This dark ride was actually extremely good because it had actually no line at all. Which none of the rides had lines, but it was like, holy crap! I was genuinely impressed. All the effects were working. I loved the theming. It was kind of like a mix between Buzz Lightyear and Haunted Mansion. It's called Mystic Mansion. And at the end of the ride, I got jump scared by one of the animatronics. It was absolutely hilarious. It's tons of fun. Like, it's a shooting dark ride. It's kind of like Boo Blasters, but Boo Blasters if it was maintained correctly and well. But overall, the park collection is really solid. They have some really great family rides, some great thrill rides. I definitely will say that the park is definitely more towards the like thrill side and also family side now since it has a water park. But honestly, you know what? This park was really tons of fun. Cause I really had zero expectations on the park. I heard like pretty negative things about the park, but I was genuinely impressed. And then everything is brand new because the park is only a few years old. And the ops are super fast. The staff was friendly. They have a really nice aesthetic. And even then, the water park looked really impressive. Even though I didn't go to it, it looked really generally impressive. But also too, I think I mentioned this before, but Buc-ee's is down the street. So if any of you people want to go, Buc-ee's is literally like a 5-minute drive from the park. But overall, I think I'm gonna give the rating of the park a 7.5 out of 10. It's a really great park. It's right off the Gulf Coast of Alabama, so it's really down the street from the beach. And by Buc-ee's, obviously. But I think some of the cons I have about this park is that it doesn't have any shade, and when it's very hot outside, that can be very inconvenient. And they kind of need more like beautification because they don't have a lot of flowers. They need a little bit more trees in general. But you know what? I want to thank y'all for watching this video. I've been like super inconsistent with these videos, but I'm gonna start posting a lot more videos about every week now. So make sure you guys subscribe and go watch my other videos, and I'll catch y'all in another one.